So I'm assuming that you guys probably already heard about this little beef that's going on here. I have the clip from the Stephen A. Smith podcast, and he does back up Ryan in this one. He does back up Ryan while also calling out Mr. Clark at the same time. I'm going to play the previous clips that sort of led up to this, and then we're going to get into Stephen A.'s clips. So let's do it.
This is what Angel Reese had to say, and I quote, "People are talking about women's basketball. You never would think they'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to the games. We got celebrities coming to the games, sold out arenas, just because of one single game. Just looking at that, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on to be that for my teammates. I know I'll go down in history. I'll look back in 20 years and be like, the reason we're watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too. I want y'all to realize that." Now, I heard a lot of people say that I or others have made Angel Reese the villain. Did you not just hear herself call herself the bad guy?
So that's RG3's take, which essentially was Angel Reese doesn't like Caitlin Clark, etc. for XYZ reason, which was substantiated and rooted in facts and some of the situations that have happened in the past. And his take was really, really mild in the grand scheme of things. All he said is that she doesn't like her, which is probably true. There's probably some egos evolved with that because she's better. Everybody knows it, but it's a little bit of a stretch of the imagination. We don't know for sure if that's the case or not, but there's something there. So now we're going to hop into pretty much what Ryan Clark had said that led up to Stephen A.'s take of this situation.
A young Angel Reese, and the whole time that he's mimicking Angel Reese and bobbing his head and moving his neck while he's doing this whole piece, his wife is in the back amening and clapping. And so to me, it's just another situation that now this young lady has to deal with. When I worked with RG3, he would make all of these sort of corny jokes about milk and how much he loved it and how important it was. And
essentially what ended up happening here is Ryan Clark decided to bring race into this, and most importantly, he brought RG3's wife into this and argued the point that because he has had 2 white wives, he doesn't know effectively much about black issues. It was more or less his argument, which has led to all this situation that we have now. So now that I got you the backstory and as much information as I could give you, let's get to Stephen A.'s take.
You, RG3, being married not once but twice to white women. There was no need to go there. But he don't like your ass. That might have had something to do with it. I'm not condoning him doing that. I'm not condoning him bringing that up. If RC and I had spoke about it in depth, I would have told him, don't go there. Don't go there. No need for all of that. But I want to emphasize something here that's very, very important. RG3, he never attacked your wife. He never attacked your family. He was attacking you.
And in all fairness, he didn't say anything negative about his wife.
And you know it. Now, that don't make it correct. The mentioning of your wife, I'll concede that. He didn't utter a negative syllable about your wife. He never mentioned your children. So when you say attacking your wife and attacking your family, your children, how did he do that? Ryan Clark did not do that. He talked about you and your behavior. He talked about how you lean towards highlighting her ethnicity. I don't know whether it's true or not. I pay no attention to that stuff. But I know what he said. And he never mentioned your children. Not with what I saw. If anybody out there has an additional clip where you can point to RC attacking or denigrating the wife of Robert Griffin III or his children, show it to me. I didn't see that, RG3. I didn't see that. And why am I bringing that up? Because this is where it comes home, meaning to ESPN, where you worked for years. When you sat up there and you said it's a bad look for ESPN, I guess it's within your right to hit back at RC since you felt hit at yourself. But as somebody who works for ESPN, come on, bro. That was some slick shit you was doing, right? Because when you said it's a bad look for ESPN, you know that we work at a place where ESPN's gonna be like, what's he talking about? What's a bad look for ESPN?
And it's sad because even like we've seen with Shannon Sharp, which is a completely personal issue, it doesn't relate to ESPN. He has his own podcast, has his own platform. This is a very, you still work for ESPN, and it becomes a big issue what you do. Disney doesn't play that. Disney, if you anything, they don't want to be associated or have bad associations with their brand, and that they have the 100% prerogative to do that. So that was a little bit of a dangerous game for RG3 to play with Ryan.
You didn't have to go there. That's between you and Ryan. Ryan said that on the pivot. Ryan shows up on Get Up. Ryan shows up on First Take. Ryan shows up on NFL Live. Ryan contributes to Monday Night Football. He never mentioned you on any of those places. Why on his podcast, on a spot that he owns and operates, would you ignore that to bring up ESPN? Because you were trying to get him in trouble with ESPN. You looking to ESPN for help, to try and reprimand him when you should have handled that your own damn self. And I'm talking to you out of respect. I don't hate you, bro. This with you and Ryan is clearly personal. What you bring ESPN in it for? You trying to get the brother fired?
And the two biggest important things that you should take away from this is that, yes, he is being, Brian Clark, RC was 100% being messy. Let's not, the Negro was being messy. But by the same token, what did he per se say about his wife and his family? Was his family personally attacked? Well, not necessarily, right? But come on now, RC. And just like Stephen A has said, and this is the biggest point, is that the way that you don't bring up wife, you don't bring up somebody's wife, you're playing with fire. You just don't do that. That's generally you're walking on eggshells when you're doing that. I personally just find it amazing that a sport that virtually nobody gives a shit about has opened up so many cans of worms that it's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. But that's all I got, guys. I'm out.